Hello and welcome back to another stream. So it is Tuesday, the 28th of May. And yeah, of course, today we are going to go the technical analysis on Bitcoin as we always do. Um, and yeah, sort of volatility is coming back into the market now. Of course, it was quite a long weekend for the market because we had, of course, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday as well, which here in the UK was a bank holiday. And yeah, like someone reminded me in the previous live stream, it was Memorial Day in America as well. I knew it was a holiday in America. I just didn't know what holiday it was. So it was Memorial Day yesterday in America. So of course the markets were shut there as well. But yeah, we made some really nice trades over the past over the past few days. So of course Friday we entered into this long trade here, which was a really nice long trade. Right, we took this all the way up to $70,700 up here, and yeah. During that time, we actually entered into a short trade here. Okay, took that down to range low, where we actually entered into a new long trade. So we entered into a new long trade from range low. Okay, and then we took that again, up to $70,700. Right, so we've had some really nice trades recently. And yesterday, I was actually looking to short this. I never ended up taking the short, and I did miss out on this big move towards the downside. And the reason being is because, yes, we formed a nice swing failure pattern of this high here, but for me, I was looking for that highest probability trade setup, and that would be, okay, of course, swing failure patterning $70,700, but also taking out this naked point of control at the same time. That's kind of what I was waiting for. To get that highest probability trade set up, and we didn't see that. So yeah, I didn't actually enter into the trade. Well, this morning, sorry, I did actually enter into a long trade, and of course I will talk about that in today's video as well. It started off really well. We saw, we've seen price pull back to the GP, and we're getting a little bounce now, but yeah, we'll of course talk about this long trade, sort of why I've entered into it, sort of the targets I have for it, and of course, what is happening at this moment in time within Bitcoin. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It really helps me out, really helps the channel out. And yeah, I can continue to bring these live streams to you as well. So make sure you smash that thumbs up button. If you are new, subscribe, of course, and turn the bell notification on so you never miss another live stream. Because sometimes I do enter into live streams. I do enter into trades live on stream. So this was on the 2nd of May. We entered into a long trade on the 2nd of May live on stream. Okay, and this came all the way up. Yeah, this POC here. So we made some really nice profits on that long trade, and that was entered in on live stream. So yeah, make sure you turn that bell notification on. But yeah, enough of that. Let's jump in and talk about why I am long at this moment in time. And then, yeah, some possible trades that we could be looking at in the future, and yeah, what price is currently doing right now. So let's just pull up the trades very quickly. So I'm in 2 trades as of now. So this trade down here, right? This trade here, okay, where I've taken literally pretty much the profit off of the trade. Okay, there's only a very small amount left in this trade. So that was the long trade, right, from down here. Okay, so that was the long trade from here. The short trade from here was stopped out at entry, and the long trade from here was stopped out at entry. I took a lot of profit off of those trades, moved the stop loss to entry, making them a risk-free trade. And I've done the exact same thing with this trade, right? I've taken a lot of profit off of this trade, as you can see there, and I have moved the stop loss to entry. And I'm just leaving a little bit left in this trade just to see if we can, get a little bit, if we do see a bigger move, maybe up to all-time high, I can squeeze a little bit more out of that trade. But initially, I'm just letting the rest of that trade ride. Stop free trade now. So, yeah, of course, I have. I did do this. I just got a connection lost. Hopefully, everything's okay. Yeah, let me know in the chat if everything's okay. But yeah, of course, this morning I did enter a long trade. It was a bit of a lower capital entry trade, just because I didn't see the confluence that I wanted to see. But initially, here we go, taking the long trade. This is a low capital trade for me, as I only see 2 bits of confluence. Of course, in the daily market update, I walked through why I entered into this trade. And yeah, we can take a look at that as well. So of course, we're at a GP 786 level. Okay, we're at a GP 786 level, which is a support level. Now, as I always say, I view this as a support level only when we get short absorption into the level. The same as with when price is rising into a GP 786, it's only a resistance level if I see absorption into that level. So for me, yeah, this was actually a nice level of support because we did have absorption coming into that level, right? So we can take a look at what we're looking at it on the 1 hour here. So we can take a look at this, right? So we can see, right, we had the low from back here on like the 23rd of May. And you can see where we are now. We are obviously forming some nice higher highs. And then we're taking a look at the CVD. We can see that, of course, CVD is ticking towards the downside. It is forming lower lows, telling us, right, that there is more aggressive shorting happening here than there was back here. However, price is holding this bullish market structure, meaning that we do have a large buy limit order or a series of large buy limit orders at this level, which is absorbing all of the shorting that is occurring right here. And of course, if you're a regular watcher of the channel, you know how many times, right, that we come into a key level with absorption and we see the price reverse, right? It happens more often than not. Okay, so this is why I have entered into this trade, and we also, I was also aware as well. I wouldn't say it's something that I'm paying my full attention to, but we do have a value area low here. Now, I don't particularly like this range. I don't really like this range, which is why I'm not, viewing this value area low as like a really, really strong level. I acknowledge, right, that it is confluence with this GP, and I understand, right, we have nice absorption into the level as well. So for me, and like my strategies, like I have to take this trade, so that's why I've taken it. But I view this range as quite a difficult range. It just, how I view it is, it has to look nice. It's like with the time frames that I trade. I don't have set time frames that I like to trade. It just has to look good for trade entry. It just has to look good, right? If I'm zooming into in 5 minute chart, right, this is a very nice price action really to be trading. Okay, but what I've been doing recently, okay, I've actually been trading the 8 hour chart because this has been really nice, pretty easy price action to be trading, right? So yeah, this is why I've been on the, let's get rid of the naked point of controls for now, but this is why, recently I have been trading the 8 hour quite a lot. I have now zoomed in again. where price action started to look okay, but it's still just a little bit messy. Really good to see you here. Hi, are shorts being absorbed now? So locally, shorts aren't being absorbed now, but yeah, so let's zoom in here, right? So we can see locally, right, shorts aren't being absorbed. Um, but I'm looking at it here, right? I'm this as a range, right? I'm looking at this as a range, and what we like to see with absorption really is we like to see pulling back, forming a low, and then we see some sort of like range bound price action, and then we come down again and form another. Sorry, a higher low, and initially, right, we are seeing absorption when we're zooming out on this 1 hour, but when we zoom in locally, right, we're not seeing that. I understand that, but it's hard. It's hard to get these great setups at the moment. Initially, right, we've had some really nice trades, right? But I have to admit, they have been a little bit difficult, and not necessarily the entry, but it's been a little bit difficult to hold the trade open because you can see with this short trade here, when we finally came down to range low. Prior to that, right, it was just, I know it was a weekend and we had a bank holiday as well, but it was just very horrible price action, and a big part of this from and this is, of course, it's not a definite reason for it, but my sort of reasoning for it is because open interest is at 1 billion, and every time we're coming up to 1 billion on the open interest, we are just seeing the open interest reject off of that 1 billion mark. So it's finding it really, really tough to get above that 1 billion mark, and I feel as though that is a big part of why price action right now, it isn't looking greatest, and it's been quite difficult to not necessarily enter, but it's been quite difficult to hold trades open, and that's this could be the case with this trade as well. Let's see what's happened. So initially on this rise towards the upside, it started okay, and then we started to see a bit of a weak rise here. So that was given back. That was a bit of a weak pullback, but initially that the second part of this pullback was pretty strong, and then we've seen a rise here. Start of it was okay. This bit was a bit rubbish. Okay, then this pullback's pretty weak. It's just not, yeah, it's just not great price action, to be honest with you. It's not clear price action to read. It's just very choppy at this moment in time. You can very clearly see it right here. It's just very choppy price action. Initially, when I entered into this trade this morning, right, it was looking really good for a nice rise. I was looking to take a TP1 at this VWAP here because we've respected this VWAP so much, and then I would have moved the stop loss to entry, but then we saw price pull back here. But yeah, I'm still viewing this as absorption, right? Just locally, we're not getting that absorption. Yeah, that's, of course, it would be nice if we were to get absorption locally. It's not the case, but I still acknowledge, right, that we are. If we're zooming out, right, we still had absorption here. So yeah, I'm happy to just remain in this trade, to be honest with you. Of course, it's going to be different for everyone, right? Everyone's got a different risk management strategy, or everyone just has a different risk management because of portfolio size, capital that they're willing to put into a trade. For me, I've had some really nice trades recently, so I'm just, to be honest, going to leave this trade open. I could have exited this trade for a slight profit or even just a break even, but my risk management is good, and I understand that if I do take a loss here, it's not going to affect me whatsoever. If I do take a loss here, it would be around $1,000 in a loss. But then I understand, like in the previous trade that I've taken here, right, it's almost 4,000. Well, of course, because prices pulled back now, it's a bit less, but it was at $4,000 at one point. But yeah, almost $4,000 in a profit there. So for me, taking like a $1,000 loss here, it's okay. I don't mind it. So yeah, of course, you have to have good risk management, and I understand, right? I could cut my losses here just because it's very choppy. It's not nice price action. But then I view I view this trade back here and I understand, right, this was very horrible price action to be trading, to be honest with you. Even this long trade here as well. So the long trade that I took, I can't remember the exact time that I took it, but yeah, just to roughly put it out there, you can see, this was, I think it must have been something. Yeah, it must have been around there somewhere. Stop loss would have been below the hit, below the low here, but you can see, right, we've got to move towards the upside. Very like horrible choppy price action here, and then we got the move towards the upside. So yeah, for me, it's just like I'm happy. I understand my risk management is good, so I'm happy to just hold this trade open. If I do get stopped out of this trade, then I understand I have levels below me that I'm interested in trading. I would like to be in a short trade. And I would have liked to have been in a short trade from up here, but again, it's just like I didn't I didn't want to enter just off of like one bit of confluence. Um, let's Yeah, and I mean we didn't even have any imbalances coming in here, to be honest with you. So I like to look for imbalances when we're forming a swing failure pattern because I want to see a considerable more longs opening up than shorts at the high. Okay, and then when price starts to pull back, okay, all of these are of course going to be trap longs. Of course, we had trap longs up here, but I like to see imbalances. Of course, we had one up here, but yeah, it's not a big one to be honest with you. So yeah, for me, I was waiting for that naked point of control for that highest probability trade setup. I didn't get it. So yeah, I just didn't take that trade. It would have been a really nice trade to be honest with you, but yeah, unfortunately, I didn't take it. So yeah, I guess right now it's just patience. Right, again, I've said this. I think I said this in the previous live stream, and maybe even the live stream before as well. It is horrible price action to be trading at this moment in time. It is pretty horrible price action to be trading. Yeah, it's just been in this area right here. Before, it was really nice price action to be trading, right? We had the short from the all-time high. I took the long from here. There was a short from here. There was I did take a long trade from here at some point. Yeah, I was expecting that to come high, but I took a TP1 at that POC here. Got another pullback. Did I long this? Yes, I did. Yeah, I long the failed auction of range low. That was a really nice long trade. Was there a short from there? I might have taken a short from there. Can't remember, but yeah, this was really nice price action to be trading. Now it's just a little bit horrible, and I feel as though a big part of it is because we're at that 1 billion mark on the open interest again. And every time we get to that 1 billion mark, we do see like this here. Okay, and it could be good for us seeing this, right? It could be good for like our long term hodl portfolios because you can see what's happened here, right? We've got the 1 billion mark, okay, and then we've had a big move towards the downside, but that big move towards the downside was on a decrease in open interest. So this is a weak move. So more often than not, I preach this all the time. More often than not, if we're having a bad move towards the downside, or like a weak move towards the downside, we pretty much give it back. Okay, we almost every time we give it back, and that's exactly what happened here. The open interest, yes, is increasing, but it's not increasing as much. And then over time, of course, you can see how much it has increased. It's increasing at a slower rate, but it is increasing back to where we were, right? And what has price done? Well, price has increased massively as well. So, if we're going to continue to see open interest decreasing at the 1 billion mark, okay, and we see price pulling back at the same time as well, then what we can see is that price is pulling back on a weak move towards the downside. So then we give that price action back, and that move towards the upside tends to be a good move towards the upside, and that could actually take us to higher prices, like taking us to all-time highs. And it could just be this continuous thing where it's like a slow grind up, right? It's not one mega pump towards the upside. It's kind of like grinding up slowly. So, which in the grand scheme of things could be good for like hodl portfolios, but it makes it hard to trade. Of course, it's not, this horrible price action we're seeing right now, this choppy price action, it's not definite. It's not definitely because of open interest being at 1 billion, but I understand that ever since we've been hitting 1 billion, price action just starts to get a little bit horrible. Yeah, it's just that the fact that the market hasn't broken above that level, and it's just a very difficult, just very difficult time for price. Once we can get above that 1 billion, like a big move above it, because of course, we have got above it. What we are right now, so we're at 1.04 billion. Okay, so yes, we have got above it, but what I mean is like a move away from 1 billion. Okay, so a big move above it, maybe back testing it as support. Of course, I never recommend like charting the open interest, but it's just always good to have acknowledge it, right? Because there are trends within the open interest, and we can clearly see it here, right? Open interest, every time we're hitting that 1 billion mark, right, we are seeing a pretty significant pullback each time we do so. Okay, so there are trends within it, but yeah, I would never use it to help me enter into a trade whatsoever. But yeah, it's just once we can get above that, and there's acceptance above that 1 billion mark, then we're probably going to have nice price action again. Or even, if we start to move away from it, come back down to maybe 900 million, then yeah, it could be nice price action again, right? But it's just a little bit difficult. But again, as traders, you have to be able to adapt to all different kinds of environments, right? This is one of the environments that we need to adapt to, which is like horrible choppy price action. Okay, and that's exactly what I've been doing, right? I've been adapting to it. To be honest with you, with the trades that I've taken recently, I've taken profit a lot sooner than I have, with some of the trades that I was taking a few months ago. Like I've taken profit a lot sooner, just because I understand that this price action just hasn't been very nice at all. So that's sort of how I have adapted to it, just by locking in that take profit, moving that stop loss to entry just a little bit earlier. Just when we're in risky times like this, it's always better to just try and remove as much risk as possible, and by doing so, that is taking profit early, moving that stop loss to entry, and it has paid off, right? It has paid off. So and this is something like, if you're just coming into trading, this is something that you will learn over experience as well. Like when to take profit. That you can always have a set take profit point. Like I will always put my, when I draw out my trades, I will always put my take profit on here, like at the final take profit. But then I understand, right? This initially is the target for the trade. Initially, like even like value very high, right? That's kind of the target. But I understand, right? We have this VWAP. Yeah, the VWAP has acted as really strong resistance, even when we got above it, support before the breakdown again. So I understand, okay, right, this is probably a good place to take a profit as well. So, and from there, I can move the stop loss to entry, because of course it's now a winning trade. I've taken profit. I don't want to turn that winning trade into a losing trade. Okay, and then if we do get a pullback, maybe I can zoom into a lower time frame, enter into another long trade if I still like it, right? If I still like how how price action is looking for the long trade, then I can enter in again at a lower price, and possibly take that trade up to that final target if that's where price wants to go. So I guess it's just all about adapting to the market. Okay, you cannot take charge within these markets. You have to adapt to what the markets are doing. Choppy price action like this, if I'm still targeting my bigger TVs, then I understand I'm not going to take any profit from these markets, because the market is very choppy at this moment in time. So I understand, right? Okay, I need to take profit a little bit earlier, because I could get stopped out of this. Even though I was right in my decision, I could still get stopped out, right? And that's like with this short trade here that I entered into here. Okay, initially, right, I'm looking at a target of like these lows down here. Okay, but I've taken a profit a little bit earlier here because I understand. Okay, we're in very choppy, horrible, unpretty price action, and I understand. Okay, we could actually come back up here, maybe even get another short trade from up here. Okay, and then see another move down. Okay, so it's literally just adapting to what the markets are doing. To be honest with you, when price action is not looking nice and pretty again, okay, again I go to this example here. When this is just really nice, pretty price action, easy price action to trade. When like this, okay, yes, you can hold those trades for a little bit longer. You don't have to take profit early. Okay, you don't have to move the stop loss to entry as soon as you do in the market conditions that we are seeing at this moment. Okay, because this is just really nice, pretty, simple price action to be traded without even putting any analysis on the screen, without even bringing up order flow. Okay, it's really easy to spot trades here. It's just really easy to spot trades. But then when you're looking at this time frame here, this is where it gets a little bit yeah, just very horrible, just very choppy. It's just not nice. Okay, but yeah, let's take a look at possible trades, right? Let's take a look at future trades. Of course, I'm in this long trade right now. Of course, I'm still in a long trade from down here as well. So when was that? That was long from, yeah, like 67 200. So yeah, still long from there as well, only very slightly. It's not a huge position anymore. I've taken literally, yeah, probably 90% of the capital that I had in that trade. I've taken that out now. But yeah, let's just see if I can squeeze a little bit more out of that trade. And yeah, let's take a look. So let's just get rid of this fixed range for now. And let's just see what trade. So here, even if I zoom into the 15-minute, I mean, yeah. Let's just draw a range here. So we've got a mini range here that we could possibly trade on a 15-minute. Of course, looking for shorts at range high, looking for long trades at range low. Let's just see. I don't think we have. No, we don't have any confluence there. So these are riskier trades, right? Because there's no confluence here. These are a little bit more risky trades. Okay, they're valid because of course, you're looking to trade a range until that range breaks. But yeah, they're a little bit more risky just because there's no confluence there. But that could be a possible range to be trading. Of course, range bound price action is the best price action to be trading. So yeah, that's a possibility. I like this high at $70,700 still, even though we've tapped it. Right, the short trade was there. I didn't take it. I still like that level, and I'm still acknowledging the naked point of control that we have up there at 70,975, and I would still like to short that. I'm still interested in shorting that. Of course, see the bearish confirmation, bearish confluence, bearish reaction there to enter into the short. But if I see that, a failed auction of it, swing failure pattern of it, lots of trap longs at the highs, I'm happy to short this and look for lower prices. I'm still very interested in shorting that level. So even the idea of when I was entering into this long trade was actually right. Okay, this is looking good. We've got absorption into a nice level. We do have the value area low as well. We could be looking for a move back up to value area high, where we could be looking for a short trade here, take that back down to value area low. So that was the idea when I entered into this trade. That's still the idea that I have right now as well. Is right, okay, value area low. We've got absorption, GP786. Let's look for range high for a short trade off of that. Okay, if we don't get the short trade up there, then of course I can target higher prices. And from there, it's just very, very simple, right? 72,000. Okay, and that again is just another very, very simple, um, yeah, how I like to say, like a pretty level to trade, right? It's just an easy level to trade. Swing failure pattern, lots of longs at the high. Okay, lots of possible trapped longs at the highs. Okay, I want to see lots of longs at the high. Swing failure pattern. Okay, I want to see lots of long imbalances as well. Okay, so when the longs are overwhelming the shorts, okay, so shorts are overwhelmed by the longs, meaning that there are a lot more longs coming in than shorts. Form that swing failure pattern or failed auction. I'm happy to short that. I'm happy, to take that initially, right? I'm looking for this low. I understand, right? Okay, if we do this, I'm going to be viewing this as like a big range. So this will be, a big range that we will be looking at, and of course, POC would be a good target, to be honest, as well, for like a TP1, maybe even value area high. Yeah, it kind of all depends on what the entry is looking like and where those levels are at that time as well. Because of course we could spend a lot of time up here, meaning that value area high is going to move up quite significantly. Then we get the drop down again, and we'll be looking for a TP1 at like POC. So it all depends, right? Of course, that's just an example, right? So don't take my word on that. That's just an example. But yeah, initially we don't know where to take profit points because we haven't even entered into the trade, right? But yeah, that's sort of what I am viewing. So of course, the first short I would be looking for would be failed auction swing failure pattern of $70,700 onto that naked point of control at 70,975. That's the first high probability short trade setup I see. Of course, I would like to see lots of longs coming in. I want to see the longs overwhelming the shorts. Okay, with lots of long imbalances. If we don't see any of that, okay, we don't get the swing failure pattern, we get a nice clean break, we back test the MPOC as support, I'll be happy to say, okay, 72,000, where we can look for pretty much the exact same thing there, other than we don't have a naked point of control. Okay, we look for the exact same thing. We want to see a swing failure pattern or failed auction, lots of longs that are overwhelming the shorts, lots of long imbalances, and I'll be happy to take a short from there. Okay, so those are the two shorts that I'm interested in. Of course, as always, I'm looking at a GP786 level. We do have a naked point of control here, 69,625. So if we come up into this level here and we do see long absorption, there could be a nice short from there as well. Let's just, you can sort of gauge whether you are going to get absorption. So I mean, yeah, I think looking at it, there is a possibility for absorption into that level. There is a possibility for it. Sometimes it's just blatantly obvious that you're not going to get absorption into a level. But I think here that there is signs of absorption that we could get into a level. Of course, it's not 100%. I'm never going to take a trade off of this unless I actually see that confirmation. But yeah, looking at it, I understand, okay, right, there is a possibility we could see absorption into the level. Some instances it's very blatantly obvious there's not going to be absorption, but here, there's a possibility. I see a possibility of it. So that could be another, nice short trade from there as well. So yeah, of course, that's another reason, why I would look for a TP1 at VWAP here as well, because there could be a short off of this naked point of control here. So yeah, I like that, to be honest with you. So those are the 3 short trades that I'd be looking for. Those would be the 3 short trades. And yeah, for long trades, of course, it's the long that I'm in as of now. So yeah, of course, I'm in this long trade right now, initially targeting VWAP for a TP1, move that stop to entry, okay, and then I'm targeting, yeah, I guess, yeah, $70,700. And then if we break above that, I'm looking for like $72,000 for this trade here. And yeah, I guess with the long trade I have from lower, I'm still just going to let that ride. Of course, I'm probably just going to take this to all-time high. If we take all-time high and there's some nice profit on here, maybe it's back up at over $1,000 in a profit, I'll take some profit there. But I've already taken quite a lot of profit off of this trade, so not too fussed about that at all. So yeah, I guess so. The long trade is the one that I took this morning. And then, of course, if I get stopped out, remember, it's a possibility. I do take loss here, and there's a possibility it could get stopped out. I guess the next level that I'm interested in taking a long from is about like 66,115 here. There's going to be a lot of liquidity sat at these lows here. We don't have a naked point of control down there, but it's the same for the shorts that I'm looking at 70,700 and 72,000, right? I want to see the complete opposite, okay? I want to see price form a swing failure pattern, failed auction, and I want to see lots of shorts coming in, and I want to see the shorts overwhelming the longs for, a nice long trade setup from there. So yeah, down there, I like this for a long trade. That would be the long trade that I would be looking for. And then, of course, looking at the monthly VWAP, we have 64,600. At the time I was looking at this other long trade, it was at 64,400, which was where the VWAP was at. But I was looking at this trade here as well. But this is, yeah, if we come all the way down to, yeah, what was it, 63... Yeah, 63,700-ish. I kind of like this for a long trade as well. If we do get a big drop here, I do kind of like that. So, of course, the first long trade would be from these lows here. If we do get stopped out of the long that I'm in now, okay, that would be the first long trade. If I don't get the long trade from there, I would initially be targeting this GP 786 level in confluence with this naked point of control. I would like to see absorption, okay, short absorption into the level to take that long trade. And then, yeah, I'll be initially targeting like 72,000, but of course I will take profits along the way up. But initially I would be targeting like 72,000, but like I said, I will be taking profits along the way up if I do enter into that trade, if that trade setup does present itself to us. So yeah, that's another, like that for me. Of course, looking at it right now, it's not high probability because we don't know if we're going to get absorption into that level. But if we do get absorption into that level, that is a high probability trade setup. GP 786 absorption, naked point of control, even the VWAP. I know it's not perfect, but if we start to slowly grind down, then VWAP will slowly tick over, right, and it will slowly move down. Okay, so that could just be a great long trade there. Really high probability long trade setup. So yeah, of course, we want to see VWAP move down a little bit, and we want to see absorption into the level. If we get a really quick move down, then we're most likely not going to see either absorption or that VWAP coming to where we want it to, which is about, yeah, let's say $64,000. That's where we kind of want it to creep down to have that as confluence. Of course, we cannot wait for things like this. We just have to see what the market does and just trade based off of what the market is doing. So yeah, that's yeah, a high probability trade setup if we see everything that we want to see at that level. If we don't get the long there, then we're looking for the low at 60,000, right? We're probably going to go back below 60,000. Maybe we could get a long trade setup from there. But yeah, for me, that's just a little bit too far, far in the future. So those are the trades that I'm kind of interested in, to be honest with you. Going back, this has just been the start when I entered into this trade. It was looking this morning. It was looking really good. I kind of just stepped away from my computer here, and I was like, okay, right, I'm happy. I've set an alert at the VWAP, and then boom, we get a big move down back to the level. Yeah, it's just horrible, choppy price action. I understand that this isn't, one of the. It's a high probability trade setup, but I understand that it's not one of the highest probability trade setups because, there's only 2 bits of confluence here. That's why I've entered with a little bit lower capital. This local range is very sus now. Let's have a look. Is it the one that I've just been talking about? This, a few minutes ago. This one here. To be honest, it's not great. This range. It's not. It's just the price is just very choppy here. It's just horrible. Is that ready? Is that the range that you're talking about? But yeah, I wouldn't consider trading this range as the highest probability trade setups. Of course, this is the idea, right? You're looking for shorts at range high. Yeah. Okay, cool. You're looking for shorts at range high, longs at range low. Yeah. Again, it's also always nice if you see confluence there. And yeah, of course, I would, if I were to be trading this, I would like to go into, so let's just take this for example. Let's see here. Of course, it's a bit too early to determine a range off of that, but you had a swing failure pattern of this high here at 68,867. Let's just see. Yeah, I mean, initially it's nice because you can see on the increase, okay, you can see volume is increasing. So you can see 5.3, 10 million, 12 million. You can see nice positive delta, right? 2 million, 3.2 million, 2.4 million on this rise up. You have longs overwhelming the shorts, as you can see here. A lot of longs overwhelming the shorts, not initially at the high. You would like to really see it at the high. But then what you can see is delta flips to negative and volume actually tapers off as well. So yeah, initially that's a good short from there. So that's kind of what I would like to see for a short, but I would prefer to see some imbalances up here. I would like to see some imbalances up here for that highest probability setup. We're looking at this low here as well. We didn't actually take out the low. But we can kind of look at it. So you can see it here, right? We didn't actually take out the range low. We took out this low here. Let's sort of look at this, right? So we can see on the way down, okay, we're getting shorts overwhelming the longs there, a little bit there, okay. You can see negative delta is increasing. You can see volume is increasing ever so slightly as well. And then in the next candle, which was the SFP of this low here. Personally, I would never take a trade like this. I would initially wait for range low, and it's happened before where it was on Ethereum. I was looking for a trade on Ethereum, and we did this exact same thing, right? Where we swing failure pattern off the second, or sorry, off the higher low, not the actual low here. And yeah, I've noticed that recently happen a few times. So this is maybe where I should adapt and take a long off of this. Okay, but yeah, for me, the highest probability trade setup is from the actual range low. But initially, this looks okay because then hopefully we're back. I just had a reconnecting sign on the stream. Hopefully everything's okay. But yeah, to go on what I was saying, you can see here, okay, we have. Are we back? Yeah, for some reason it keeps breaking up. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, again, very quickly, sorry. Increasing negative delta, increasing volume. Okay, and on the next candle, which is the actual swing value pattern candle, okay, delta flips to positive again, and then we have a slight taper off of volume there as well. Okay, and then you can see the longs are coming in. Okay, we can see the longs are overwhelming the shorts as well. Okay, so that's very, that initially is very bullish. Okay, and then you do get a rise towards the upside. Okay, but yeah, this is just horrible choppy price action, right? So it's just not the greatest range in my eyes to be trading, and I probably won't trade this unless I see something really nice. If I see textbook, if I see like real like textbook entry on this, then maybe I will take a trade from here. But at this moment in time, I'm not too interested in that, just because it's just a bit of a horrible range to trade. To be honest with you, yeah, it's just not great, to be honest. So yeah, I guess I'm just going to sit in this long trade as of right now. If I do get stopped out, I'll look for a long trade at lower prices. If we do see a rise, of course, I'll be looking to take a profit on this long trade, and then of course I'll be looking at short trades. Right, we have three really nice possible short trade setups here. Okay, three really nice possible short trade setups in these horrible market conditions. There are three really nice possible short trade setups. These two, I'd say, are probably the highest confluence ones. Okay, but initially, this one up here is still good if we do see the short from up there. But yeah, to be honest, I think I will leave it there. Have you got any questions? Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. But it is, what's the time? Yes, 7:30 here, so I am gonna go and get my dinner. I think make myself some dinner. I've literally just got a message from a friend, and he was saying um, it's been hard on Bitcoin recently for swing trading, as we're not getting much trades. One a week is nice. Yeah, that's literally how it's been, to be honest with you. It's not been the great. That's funny. I literally just got a message off of a friend, but yeah, um, yeah, it's been hard. I mean, um, yeah, trading this was really nice, but yeah, there's no. Even this was a little bit. It was nice, but yeah, it was a little bit. It wasn't as easy as like a horizontal range, because we were viewing this right as bearish market structure. Let's zoom on. How much leverage are you using for your trades? It all depends, really. Let's take a look at the Discord. Oh, I haven't been. I've just been putting the profit. So on these two long trades that I'm in, one of them is 26x and the other one is 22x leverage. To be honest with you, I don't really care what leverage. If we come up here, 57. When we are trading within nice price action, I will use higher leverage. Okay, because what I do, lower capital into a trade, but use higher leverage. So just as an example, instead of putting $100, instead of putting $1,000 on a trade with 10x leverage, I will put $100 on a trade with 100x leverage. Just as an example, right? That's how I will do it. So yeah, with this trade here, 57. That's not even like super high leverage, to be honest, for me. But that was 57%. 57x leverage. But I would have put a lower capital into the trade than if I was trading with 20x leverage. Okay, and yeah, that's just because I like to have, especially with not using Bybit, I like to have lower capital or lower capital on a exchange, right? I don't want to have as much of my capital on an exchange. I'd rather have it somewhere that's a little bit more safe, right? Because we all know what happened with FTX, right? So yeah, that was a big like eye opener for me, and made me think, right, okay, I should take advantage of leverage and not take advantage of the capital that I have, right? Leverage there is to be leveraged. Leverage there is to be used. Okay, so I put lower capital, higher leverage. Okay, instead of yeah, capital, higher leverage instead of higher leverage, lower capital. That's how I do it, basically. So sometimes what I will do, especially, let's see if I can find one. Right, this is all 57. You will see that my leverage will change depending on how the market is. If the trades are a little bit easier, I'll enter into with higher leverage. Uh, yeah, here's an example, right? 77x leverage. Okay, that's a lot of leverage. But I would have entered with lower capital than I enter into when I have 20x leverage, right? Bitcoin took the low. Let's have a look. Okay, we are taking the low here. Okay, so we're getting a pretty harsh move down. But this isn't new shorts coming in. Lots of overwhelming of the shorts. Let's see, right? Let's have a look at this range again. This open interest is horrible to look at because even the open interest is just so choppy. It's not. To be honest, I'm not. Even if we do get a setup here, I'm on this account anyway. I am already um, in as many positions as I could add to a trade. To be honest with you, I could add to one of them. But initially, right, if we do get like a swing failure pattern of this range, maybe even a failed auction of the range low, right? Um, that would be good for the long trade that I'm in, because initially, right, we're targeting back up to range high, okay, here, where I would just take a TP1 on that trade, move the stop loss to entry, because then, yeah, I acknowledge, right, okay, maybe we're looking for a short trade there, back down to range low, and I just don't want to be in a trade from. Yeah, I've entered in the middle of this range that we are in here. You don't want to be in a trade from the middle of the range. You just don't want to be in that. So yeah, if we do, swing failure pattern this, and then we do get a rise up, then yeah, on this long trade, I'd just take a TP1 here, move the stop loss to entry, and I'd probably take a big chunk of it out, maybe even over 50%. And then if we do get the break towards the upside, okay, of course, I'll still have some capital in there to take advantage of that, and I'll take profit along the way up. But I don't want to be stuck in this scenario where I'm long from mid range of a channel like this, and then say we're just literally just ranging like this. I don't want to be in a situation like that. Not because it's because it's I'm worried or anything. More so that I've wasted an account that I could actually be using to trade, right? I could be entering into a long from down here if we come back down, possibly. But yeah, we'll see. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I'll give it. Lots of imbalances, short imbalances. So shorts are, very clearly overwhelming the longs at this moment in time. But yeah, what we want to see is this rise up, right? And we want to see. We want to see lots, yeah. Again, I'd rather see more short imbalances down here. We've got lots of them here. There's almost no long in here. What I do like about it though is like the information is so nice, and like that risk to reward, right? It is just so nice. Look how tight your stop loss is on that. Right, I may just add a little bit to one of the old trades, to be honest with you. I'll add a minuscule amount onto that. Now we want to see really is those longs coming in. Yeah, you know, to be honest, it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest, to be honest with you, whatsoever. I'm kind of just entering into this for the sake of the stream, right? Um, but yeah, in no way really for me is this a high probability trade, which is why I've only entered with a yeah added to the trade ever so slightly. But yeah, initially, right, like I was saying, with the long that I've entered into this morning, yeah, I'm going to be looking at taking a TP1. I won't wait for the VWAP up here. If we just come up to this range high, that's where I'll take the TP1 and move that stop loss to entry and accept, right, okay, it was an okay entry on the long trade from this morning. We had a nice reaction towards the upside, but we just didn't get that follow through. So yeah, I'll just accept, right, okay, the idea was right, but the market sort of shifted its dynamics, right? Again, we're now trading within the smaller range here, so I will take profit at that range high if we do get a move up to that range high, and yeah, I'll stop loss to entry, just make it a risk-free trade, right? And possibly short that range high if we do come up to it. So yeah, I think I will leave it there. Yeah, let's just see how this plays out. Yeah, it's not the greatest trade setup, to be honest with you. Um, I don't really like. Da, da, da. I don't really like it, but yeah, let's just see. I've only put yeah, how much did I put on it? A few $100 that I added to that. So yeah, not really putting any risk into that, to be honest with you. So yeah, let's just see how that plays out. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, if you haven't already, smash that thumbs up button. And I, of course, will be back tomorrow for another live stream. And yeah, for any visionary members, I will see you in the daily market update. And yeah, let's see how this long trade goes on. Yeah, I'm not going to put this in the Discord because I would never usually sort of take a trade like this. But yeah, just for the sake of the stream, let's see. Let's come back tomorrow and let's see how it's done. Right. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. So hope you have a lovely evening from myself here in the UK because it is an evening. But yeah, ready. Good to see you back here. And yeah, for anybody else who is a regular watcher, good to see you back here as well. So yeah, hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening or a lovely day wherever you are in the world.